it's borrowed designs from other famous courses, and they're all
That's
courses
gotta be
that
the
have
highest
major
number
tournaments played on.
of boating we've seen in a very long
And
time.
I've always been really into the
Because
history
even
of
when-
golf and read a lot about it. And the first
Even when
time I
Trump was
went,
elected, I think our number hit
and
17
pulled up and
something.
I looked at it and I said, oh yeah, this is the number one from Cherry Hills in 1960. Arnold Palmer drove this green in the fourth round, birdied the hole, and went on to win the U.S. Open in 1960. And we get up to the tee
Some people will not vote if they do not know who's on the
So I
ballot.
started looking. I said, and the next
So
hole,
we're not
and I
doing,
told my buddy, and he goes,
Hotel Motel?
I did that. Read it.
No?
It's cool.
Okay, yeah,
very
because
cool.
it's going to come back to me.
It is. Yeah, I grew up at I went to school down there at Marcus.
I talked about it.
How was your vacation?
She's like, please take it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm there every day, and I can go talk to. And
How
plus,
was your
we
vacation?
switched out
And
when
some of your
Jessica
pictures
was
was
brand new to it, and I want to go and sit down and visit with her the way we did it, when I was doing it with Robin. And get a plan, work a plan. Plus, I'm going to make the calls and see if we can't change our
People should be allowed to vote.
hotel motel here to our here. I know that the paperwork says we're not supposed to, but there's got to be some kind of. I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order and ask you to silence your phones if you have not done so. With us tonight is Pastor John Little, and he is going to offer our invocation for tonight. So if you'll please stand with me, and if you will come to the podium so that we can hear you.
So bow our heads together if we could this evening. Lord God, we want to say thank you for another beautiful day that you've given to us. Before we ask you for anything, we want to say thank you for what you've already done. We thank you for our health. We thank you for your blessings. We thank you for life. We thank you for everything that you've done for us, and we're grateful for that. Now tonight, Lord, I'm praying that you would just minister your grace, your mercy, your strength into this meeting tonight. Would you divinely guide it? God, I'm asking you to give wisdom to our council members, our mayor tonight, amidst all of the things, Lord, that's going on in our world today. All the struggles, all the situations that they must face. I'm asking you to give them great wisdom and strength. Give us, Lord, a great sense of welfare for our citizens. And give us, Lord, the ability to come together in unity. That was your great prayer, was for unity. And so may we be unified together tonight for the cause of this community, for the cause of Bowie, Texas. We thank you for every blessing. We thank you for your goodness and grace. We ask you to bless tonight, bless the city of Bowie, bless Montague County, bless Texas, and God bless America. We give you thanks for it in Jesus' name. And everybody said amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, it's a little flashing lights kind of got my attention.
Is there like a police car down the alley or something?
Must be. Okay, so as you all know, tonight we're going to be installing new council members. But before we do that, I would like to ask Mr. Malone to meet me out front so I can offer you a token of our appreciation. Mr. Malone, you came to us because we needed help and you happily filled the position for us that was left vacant. And you ran for election. Stayed with us another 2 years. We will never be able to thank you for all the time and effort you've given to the city council. So this is just a brief, small token of our appreciation, and we hope you'll come back. going to install new officers.
Look, Chuck.
Oh, we gotta do them first. I don't get to do that yet. All right, so we're going to canvass the election. You have before you all the numbers of our election results. If you have any questions, now would be the time. Sandy's got all the answers. If there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to accept the canvass of the election results.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Malone. Do I have a second?
Second.
That was a tie if I ever heard one.
Okay, so I'm going to give it to Mr. Bell. Heffley.
Aye.
Love.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Higgins.
Aye.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to go through all these names. The ones that are here are not supposed to be here. Make him Malone. And Malone.
Aye.
All right, so that gave me 5. And 1 absent. Thank you. Now we get to offer the oath of office. I too want to say thank you to you before I ask anything of you for running for office and offering your time and service to the city. So I will ask Christy Bates to meet me at the front. And let's get you sworn in and in a chair. Over here. Barbara likes this over here. I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to ask you to recite it back to me. Raise your right hand. Okay. I, Christy Bates.
I, Christy Bates,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Precinct Counselor 2
of Precinct Counselor 2
of the state of Texas.
State of Texas.
And will to the best of my ability
And will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
to preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United
of the
States
United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
And Laura, you're already sitting, but let's redo this. Right hand. In the name. And by the authority. Of the state of Texas. I, Laura Heffley. Do solemnly swear. Or affirm. That I will faithfully. Execute the duties. For the office of Precinct Counselor 1. Sorry. Of the state of Texas. And will to the best of my ability. Preserve, protect, and defend. The Constitution and laws. Of the United States. And of this state.
So help me God.
Mr. Gunner. Let's put you back to work. Let's raise your right hand and repeat after me. In the name
In the name
and by the authority
and by the authority
of the state of Texas.
of the state of Texas,
I, Terry Gunner,
I, Terry Gunner,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the duties
execute the duties
of the office of Precinct 3 Counselor
of the office Precinct 3 Counselor
of the state of Texas
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the
the
Constitution and laws
Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you very much. I guess it goes without saying, son, that we're turning back to Sandy.
Do I?
Next item on the agenda is to elect the mayor pro tem. Our present mayor pro tem is Jason Love.
Make a motion, he remains so.
We have a motion on the floor for Jason to remain mayor pro tem. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Higgins? Bates? Heffley?
Aye.
Gunner?
Aye.
Love?
Aye.
Bates?
Here.
Bell?
Aye.
And Higgins?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Love, for staying in that position.
Thank you, guys.
And what I say, I need checks out, I don't want you to
Always there, Mark.
The next item on the agenda is items of community interest. Cindy, I'm going to ask you to please come to the podium and let our citizens know of the activities we have coming up, just briefly. I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot, but I know there's a lot going on in the next 4 to 5 weeks.
There is. There's just about something every weekend. So, Hanging the Greens will be on November the 21st. It'll start at 9 a.m. at our office, where hopefully Mildred will help with the demonstration on that, because there's a certain way to hang those greens. And then on that evening will be Santa's Workshop at the Community Center. So, stick around for that. And I guess that's during the day too, 9 to 4. And then on December the 4th will be our snowman sip and stroll, so get your snowmen ready. Instead of scarecrows, we're gonna do snowmen, so that'll be a fun event. That's the night before the Christmas parade. Christmas events will be happening on December the 5th. That'll be the Fantasy Alliance Festival, so that'll be happening on that day. So, we have a lot of different activities throughout the day. The Christmas Village will be happening at Creative Cakes again, and we'll have breakfast with Santa at the firehouse again. Trying to remember what else happening.
Farming Families is also meeting in December.
Yes, that's a different day though. Yeah, so.
Well, we have a lot going on between now and December the 5th.
Yes, there's a lot going on.
And the parade theme this year is Disney,
Yes,
anything Disney.
yes,
So get your parade floats out and ready to go, and lots of lights.
yes. We're doing lots of good awards for that again. The sweepstakes award is always a good challenge.
Yes, so.
Everybody vies for that bragging rights on that one. So that's a pretty good event happening. So that's pretty much what we have coming up right now. So Gobble Squabble will be the November the 28th. That's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's a poker run happening starting in Pelham Park. They'll make runs through Forestburg, St. Joe, Nocona Brewery, and then back downtown here. And
Wow.
cars and bicycles both. So it'll be a fun event, something new.
Cars and bicycles?
Yes. Well, motorcycles.
Okay.
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
Poker run, yeah, motorcycles. Not bicycles.
Okay. All right. I don't want to be around those bicycles.
Yeah, it's gonna be supporting Backpack Buddies,
That's a
so
motorcycle
you weren't able to have their 5K this year. So
Okay,
with,
great.
Chicken and Bread, so. And I do like to say, I appreciate everybody's support on Chicken and Bread. That was one of my favorite events now. So July Jam was up there, now Chicken and Bread is.
Yeah.
front.
And I have to say, I think it was one of our biggest chicken and breads
Yeah,
to date.
it was, yeah, well, 148 cars, so that
So,
was.
it was fabulous.
Piston Heads, and I have joined the Piston Heads, just so you know.
With the hot rod.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Anyway,
Okay, well, good. That gives everybody some idea of what's all going on.
yeah, you can follow us on Facebook. We keep everybody up to date. We just had a really good event for the Pregnancy Center in the Finance Department's parking lot over
Yes.
here. So that was a really fun event. Silent auction did really well.
Great.
And we did the inflatable screen with their slideshow sponsors. We have a lot of good sponsors here, so we really appreciate it. That was something they did instead of the gala, since they weren't able to have that. So we're adjusting a lot of things for COVID. So,
Yes, we are.
but yeah,
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. Sorry to catch you off guard.
that's all right.
You're not telling me when they close Wednesday for that.
Oh, Oh, yeah, and in case you don't know, City Hall will be closed on Wednesday, for our Veterans Day. I think this is the first one we've actually gotten, no, second one we've actually gotten to celebrate. Okay, so City Hall will be closed on Wednesday. All right, I would like to open the floor to the public for public comments. Should we have any? Mildred, sorry, got Margin on the brain still, but you got to come over here to the microphone.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Council members, Mr. Cunningham, and citizens of Bowie, Texas. My purpose of coming here this evening is to give a great thanks to our council members and our city staff and our mayor for all the work that they have done and will do. 2020, I know everybody is ready for it to be over, but we must not stop. We must continue to work to accomplish, to make Bowie strong, to help each other. I'm very thankful for all the friends that I have had that have looked after me. There are many people who have not received sufficient thank yous. I am very appreciative of all the work that Miss Cindy Roller and Debbie has done for our community. And I will have to say this. I'm sorry, Mr. Gunter, but I still didn't vote for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you being here tonight anyway.
The first year that I told that to him, he asked me why. But I want to tell you the reason why. You are just as important to me and the other citizens that are not here. You are here to represent all of the citizens of the Bowie community, whether they live within the city limits or outside the city limits, which I do. I'm sorry I cannot vote for you, sir, but you do have my support.
Thank you. I do that.
And during this pandemic, I have had too much time to think. I keep going through my head things that I have learned over the years. The counselors and the mentors that I've had, and such great ones that I know. One was Dr. Saul Haberman, PhD, the director of the microbiology laboratory at Baylor University Medical Center. He was the one that hired me. He was the one that had faith in me. And when I said, sir, but I don't know anything about that, he says, you can learn. So one of the things that's always been with me all of these years is know to listen, hear, understand, take appropriate action, be able to work together, revisit, and make adjustments as are required in every situation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of my hometown.
Thank you, Mildred. I wanted to also tell you that I've made name tags for each one of you, and I'm hoping that this coming year we'll see more, the community will see more of us as a group out representing our city. So remember that they'll come to you if they know you, and it won't always be complaining if they know you in advance. All right, let's move on to the city manager's report.
As you can see, we're getting close to finishing our new offices. If you've not done a tour, please do so. We'll be finished the meeting. We were hoping to be finished by November the 1st, but we just this past week got our doors and flooring finished. We've contracted with a firm out of Dallas to paint the exterior of the building. This question was asked me, and so I made it a point to put it in my report. We asked for bids from local contractors and got none. We got the company that is doing the interior of the building, and their bid was excessive. And I got a bid from a company that has a TIPS, State of Texas contract, and they were the lowest bid. The agreement calls for repairing the bricks, especially on the halite block portion at the rear of the building, caulking all the windows and doors, and then painting the building and exterior doors. We're also going to replace the awning on the front of the building with a fabric awning, and then we will cut into the parking area in the front and put in a green space, which is shrubs and flowers or whatever. We probably will move into the building as soon as the interior contractor leaves and we get the computers hooked up. The computer people are supposed to be here tomorrow and start that process of getting everything finished there. We're starting the planning process for the old offices. We will need to get some as-built drawings of the building so that we can figure out where everyone in the police department will go. I've contacted Dick Bundy with Bundy Young Architects to do the drawings for us for this planning process. We may have to hire an architect to design the changes if they're extensive enough to require an architect. The main thing that we need to know is where the load-bearing walls are and stuff, and then to figure out whether we need to move any walls or whatever. But more about that later. We continue to have cases of coronavirus pop up with city employees. This past week, one of the library employees tested positive, and we had to close down the library for cleaning and sanitation. If all of the other employees do not come down with the virus, we might have opened back up today or tomorrow, and we did open back up today. I don't know the exact count, but we have at least 5 employees have either had it or have it and recovered. The library opened this morning with only Beth, the librarian, out sick, and I don't think she's been tested yet. We don't know. I completed paperwork with the Texas Department of Emergency Management Coronavirus Relief Fund. They have acknowledged receipt of the paperwork and contacted me about our SAM.gov information. I asked one of our TDEM representatives about when we might get the money, and they could not tell me, never can. I think we were ahead of the game in that we were one of the first ones to, the entities in the state to turn in our paperwork. I received notice from TDEM that they want the information in a format other than what I gave them, which is normal, which I corrected today. Hopefully we have completed the paperwork in a manner that they are happy with. For your information, other than the TDEM Coronavirus Relief Fund grant, we have 3 grants that we are trying to get at this point. The State Urgent Need Grant, which we are applying for money to repair the creeks and watersheds in town. The FEMA BRIC grant, which we are applying for money to buy at least 5 generators for the sewer plant, water plant, new city offices, police department, and East Lift Station. And the 4A and 4B Economic Development Corporation are applying for an economic development grant to build a spec building at the Bowie Business Park. It's our hope that all 3 of these grants will be funded. Janice Crawley called me right before 5 o'clock today and said that North Central Texas College is going to have someone at the Bowie campus with the Small Business Development Center dealing with the tornado and COVID recovery. Businesses are urged to contact them if they need help with their businesses. Any questions?
Any questions? Okay, let's move on to the consent agenda items. The last meeting minutes are before you. I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Love, do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Hepley. Gunner,
Aye.
Bates,
Aye.
Bell,
Aye.
Higgins,
Aye.
Love,
Aye.
and Hepley. Thank you. Our next item is new business, discussion and action, resolution 2020-37. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Bowie, Texas, authorizing the execution of a water lease agreement with the Nature Conservancy and the filing and prosecution? Didn't look right. And the filing and prosecution of an application to amend certificate of adjudication number 08-3320 with the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality. All right, so Bert, you might want to refresh their memory as to what this is about.
Okay, this is, basically the resolution giving me authority to sign a lease with the Nature Conservancy. They're the people that have contracted with us to let out 360 acre-feet of water out of Amon Carter. Not all at once, somewhere over a 5-year period. And they will pay us $115,000 for that water. The resolution signing, it just basically gives me the authority to sign the lease, and then, of course, the lease is in here also for you to vote on. The certificate of adjudication mentioned in the heading of this, it has to do with our water permit that we have from the state of Texas. We'll basically be changing it, adding to the permit where they allow in-stream use, which is basically the Nature Conservancy taking water out of the creek as we let it out. It's a good deal. The Nature Conservancy is a nationwide group, and they do conservation projects, and I think, without knowing exactly what they're doing, but pretty sure that they've contracted with the Tarrant County Water Authority about letting water out of Lake Bridgeport also. And south of Bridgeport, Big Sandy Creek and the creek out of the West Fork come together, and they're gonna have some sort of project that has to do with conservation of water and irrigation of farmlands and ranch land. So that's basically what it is.
So do you get to determine when we let the water out?
No, they do.
So if we're in a really bad drought or something, I mean, do we?
Yeah, we put a clause in the contract that they can't take water out if the lake level goes down to 912.
Okay.
So
They
it's one time,
wanted 909, and I said, no, that's too low, so.
so it's a one-time compensation.
Well, we're gonna get paid every year a portion of the money, and then when they take the water out, we'll get paid $70,000 flat, but then there'll be smaller payments over time.
And I read the lease, but I wanted to ask, I didn't see anything in here. If someone else wanted to come in and buy water, there's nothing to say that we're allowed to sell water for them as well. So-
Well, we're allowed to sell water under our water permit for municipal use, for industrial use,
Right.
which is, oil field, things like mining, and then this opens it up for conservation.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Bert.
This doesn't give them exclusive
That's what it
rights
is.
to our water, yeah. All right, and you'll see this is gonna be under two different motions too. So the first one is the resolution.
Let me mention too, that I was real careful with this. I didn't want to give away the farm, so to speak, and so Che reviewed the agreements, and also I hired a law firm that deals strictly with water rights out of Austin, and they basically negotiated the agreement with us and clarified a lot of things that weren't clear in the original documents and stuff. So it's real nice to have a couple of attorneys look over your soda.
So one more question. So it shows here that if they are not allowed to pull water out, then we have to reimburse them. Okay. I'm jumping again, Bert. All right.
Our first motion is for the resolution. So I would entertain a motion to approve. I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Love. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Mr. Gunner. Heffley. Bates.
Aye.
Bell. Higgins.
Aye.
Gunner.
Aye.
Love.
Aye.
Unanimous. Now we're on to the second part of this. The lease agreement for certification of adjudication number 08-3320 by and between the City of Bowie and the Nature Conservancy. Now you can probably ask your question.
Now, so in the instance here, that if, say that the water is below 912 feet, and they're not allowed to get their water out, it shows we have to reimburse them for the remaining of the monies that they were paid.
If they can't over that 5-year
Right.
period.
What my question is the money from this gonna be put into an account where that's pulled out of, or is it going to general fund?
It'll be put anywhere you want it.
Honest, okay,
Y'all are in charge.
okay. All right.
Whatever the council desires is what we'll put the money.
So now, can we have a motion to approve this? Don't everybody jump on the bandwagon at once.
I'll make the motion for the lease agreement.
Thank you. Mr. Love, can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Heffley.
Aye.
Gunner.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Higgins.
Aye.
Love.
Aye.
And Bell.
Aye.
Thank you. And this last item on the agenda is to award a bid for the sanitary sewer improvements 2019-2020 project funded through the TDA Grant project number 721904. See their letter in here to the city manager.
This is the community development block grant project that we're working on, that we finally, Friday afternoon, about 4:30, got a permit to bore the railroad. It was like pulling teeth getting that permit. So, anyway, we're on go, and we opened, what day did we open bids last week? Sometime Wednesday or Thursday, something like that.
Wednesday, wasn't it?
Wednesday, I guess. And so 2 days after we opened bids, we get the permit, so. At any rate, this company was the low bidder, and our engineer suggested we use them. It came in, it bid under the projected cost, so we're tickled about that. So anyway, we're ready to get to work as soon as y'all okay this.
Bert, do you know anything about all these, it says right here on the street repairs, we've got one bid at 11,000, and it goes all the way up to 81,000 on another one. Do we know what the difference is there, or?
No, that was on the bids, and
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the specifics. I was looking for the bottom line.
Right.
But you never know. I mean,
Okay.
it has,
It's just a big wing.
that's what the guy was gonna charge us
Right.
for fixing the streets under that bid.
Okay.
But
So-
this is grant money. Please remember that we have to come up with matching funds of about 20%, so it'll cost us something, but we've already voted to do that, so, or you have, so.
Do I have a motion to approve this as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms.
Do you
Higgins.
mind having them put in their wording that they are awarding to Bowles Construction?
They are awarding what?
To Bowles Construction.
Your motion needs to include Bowles Construction.
So I move that we award grant project 7219041 to Bold Construction.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Ms. Bates? Love?
Aye.
Gunner?
Aye.
Heffley?
Aye.
I got out of line. Bell?
Aye.
Higgins?
Aye.
Did I ask everybody? Okay. Okay, that was the last item on your agenda. So we will stand adjourned at, wow, 6:33. Thank you.
Just say that I've got no kids. All right. That was nice.
Well, certain persons are in there. Certain persons are in there.
You even made a motion. Way to go, high five. What the heck? You're doubly lucky.
Sandy.
You're doubly lucky. You get to sit by me.
I know.